So this Lent is the first Lent that like I've ever actually wanted to do a lot of work. I was pitched Exodus 90 from a group of friends, and it's the first time I've ever been like, I genuinely want to do this. See, I don't know about you, but I like always hated Lent because, see, I struggled with pornography addiction forever. And like Lent was just that time that you get to like hate yourself a little bit because it just like reminds you that you can't let go of this, that you are still struggling. And it's like every Lent, like you need to give something up. And it's like, okay, I'll give up porn. And then like 2 days later, you're like, see, the whole idea of giving something up, some bodily desire up, is to make sure that you're no longer as attached to the world as you need to be. You distance yourself from the world to allow your spirit to grow. Now, every addict sucks at this. I sucked at this. So I want to issue you maybe a different way to think about it this Lent, hopefully just a different challenge for you, okay? So instead of giving something up, and if you still want to give up chocolate, be my guest. Do that on top of this. However, this Lent, I challenge you to invite Christ into your suck, into those parts of you that you really just like don't like to talk about and don't like going into and looking at. I'm talking about the moments immediately after you fall, you act out, you masturbate, you look at porn. Those moments where typically you swipe them under the rug, you go to confession and you start over. I challenge you to bring Christ into those moments. See, what an addiction like pornography does to you is it completely separates your body and soul. This is your body, this is your soul. And they go on their own separate paths, which, by the way, are supernatural for them individually. If you don't have a soul, your body is just gonna go in whatever feels the best, whatever like is the most tempting and the most just like feel good. Your soul is gonna keep going in its own direction. This is why like, I don't know about you, I always just like, I felt like I was compartmentalized. That like when I was at church, that was a different Eric than when I was home alone being tempted. That they were just like two different people. So what this challenge, inviting Christ into that world, what this is going to start doing is bringing those two parts of you together. The whole goal of this challenge is to start to reintegrate your body and soul together as one. I think one of the biggest issues that people find as they're trying to work this out in their life, they're trying to no longer watch porn, no longer masturbate, whatever you want to stop, is they keep them separated. They focus on their prayer life, okay? And they're just like, they're doing all these rosaries, even if they're praying Lectio Divina, whatever, going to mass, and it's going well. But it's completely separated from the parts of your heart where you know what you've done. You just don't talk about them. You need to bring them together. One thing that's so powerful just about like the whole gospel message is that addicts, just people struggling in the suck, they don't know what to do. They don't know how much God loves them. There's this thought that like, God loves me in spite of all the things that I've done. That like, yes, I've done these things. God loves me. God looks the other way. God loves you through those things you've done. When you're separated from Him, He feels the distance that's farther away. He loves you so much. He yearns for you so much more. Invite Him into that. Invite the Spirit to overwhelm you. One thing that I did, and this is super practical, and it's so hard, is after I fell, I'll look at myself in the mirror. And I would say, Eric, I love you. I say that to myself. I love all of you. Because for so long, I separated the two. I would look in the mirror and I would say, I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen. Go to confession, start over, start this whole other side. God loves all of you. And so this Lent, I challenge you to bring Him into all of it. All of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's in this difficulty, like this raw feeling That is the whole purpose of the good news, what the gospel actually is, what salvation actually is, what's celebrated at Easter and at every Mass. That you have a spark of divinity within you. You have a fire that is God, the love of God within you. You have the ability to make good anything on any path as it is now. You always have this desire, like you know you have it, just to fix. You know how things should be. And if you let him flood all of you, you'll start to understand from the depths that you think are so dark, how bright his love, his light truly shine. So that at the end of these 40 days, or whenever you're listening to this, you'll feel him transform your life, a part of your life. Another word or phrase people say instead of transform is die and resurrect, part of you. This is such a good life. Don't let something like pornography or masturbation separate you from the message that God has always wanted you to hear. I hope you have the most wonderful and fruitful Lent season. I love you. Praying for you. Pray for me.